Welcome back to a Transformed Life podcast. I am so thrilled that you are joining me today. I got a fun episode planned for you. I wanted to share what's alive for me right now. Someone shared this song on Instagram, and of course, I wanted to listen to it because what she shared, lyrics I really liked in the music, and so I'm going to share it with you. The title of it is He Said, God Got Me, and it is by Diamond District Music. So I have been listening to that song today, and maybe that will elevate your life as well. It's a really powerful song, and want to remind you that what you listen to is just as important as what you feed and nourish your body with. So make sure that the words that you are listening to are edifying, elevating your soul, lifting you up, encouraging you. The frequency of the music. I really like Good Vibes Tribe 1111. They're on Spotify. All their songs are in the high vibe category, and their words will definitely help your subconscious. So back to the podcast. Oh, one other housekeeping thing. If you are listening to this, please leave a 5-star review. It takes a couple of seconds. It really supports the show, and yours truly would greatly appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe there as well. It is a beautiful sunny day where I'm at recording this, and I'm so grateful to be here with you. Also, I was at some meetings earlier today, and so I washed my hair, I put on a dress, I have a little makeup on, and we were making double duty of this. So that's why we are recording the podcast when I have some makeup on, so I don't have to do it twice. Or not at all. All right. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to speak directly to the woman who is building something. The woman with ideas, the woman with vision, a big mission, the woman carrying businesses, brands, movements, offers, communities, children, healing, pressure, bills, relationships, friendships, networking, and a whole lot of invisible labor behind the scenes. I want to talk specifically to female founders, entrepreneurs today, women who are creating something from the ground up while holding so much. And being a woman in business is not only about strategy. That's why I always say she before strategy, build the founder before the funnel, both trademarked. It is about capacity. It's about identity. It is about resilience, nervous system regulation, self-trust. That's a big one. And it is continuing to move when there isn't evidence yet. This is another big one. When we are working so diligently, we're doing all the inner work, we're, making our, action list, and we're checking the items off of, doing the social media and sending the emails and doing the networking and connecting with people and pitching the product or pitching your service. And maybe the money isn't there. Maybe the customers or the clients aren't there. And how do you stay steady within yourself without spiraling, without going into negative self-talk? Or when negative self-talk does come in, you notice it, you meet that part with grace and compassion and curiosity and a whole lot of love. And I think, one of the biggest disservices women in business receive is this idea that success is only about tactics. It's, about branding, strategy, the funnel, the sales page, the copy, who your network is your your net worth is your network. Well, if you're just starting out, maybe your network is not as robust as someone who's been at this for a long time. So this podcast is all about encouraging the female founder. And if you are a female founder, please share this with another female founder, another woman in business, to encourage and elevate their day. This is not to dismiss tactics, because tactics do matter. They are one of the key components to your business. Messaging matters, obviously sales matter, positioning, offers, execution. You can have the great offer, the great positioning, and if you're not executing on any of that, sales are dead, offers are dead. So when you are a female founder, especially one who is building something meaningful, it's heart-led, mission-driven, and or disruptive, then you already know this journey pulls on every single part of you. They say parenting will expose the places you aren't healed. It really life will. And for sure, business does. It pulls on your worth, it pulls on your voice, your visibility, your relationship with receiving, boundaries. It pulls on your ability to be misunderstood and keep going anyway. And so I want to talk today about the female founders, what you actually need and want to hear, and very few are saying it out there. Number one, building a business will expose every place you do not yet fully trust yourself. This is one of the biggest things no one says clearly enough. Business is personal development with invoices. It will expose where you hesitate, where you people please, where you undercharge, where you are afraid to speak the price you want to say, and you're afraid of the judgment that others will think of you for that price. So let's say you want to price it at, 100, but yet the market says, oh, it's $9.99. Or, the expert says, oh, it should be, $49.99 or $47.98. And you're like, no, it's $1,000. $999.99, where you over explain, where you seek permission, where you shrink after visibility, where you abandon yourself when something doesn't land. And that does not mean you are failing. It means building is revealing all those places that have not yet been healed within inside you. And so you can look at this as an opportunity for growth, for expansion, and for how much capacity you will have for your clients, customers, and your business and your family, and for yourself as well. Your business will mirror your internal world. I'm going to say that again. Your business will mirror your internal world. If you do not trust your voice, your content will reflect it. If you do not trust your offers, sales conversions will reflect it. If you do not trust your value, pricing will reflect it. If you do not trust yourself to hold more money, responsibility, attention, or growth, your business may unconsciously cap itself there too. So this is why so many people like, I just need, I need more money. I need more sales. If you go back to what I just said a few minutes ago, press backwards and go, back a few seconds to hear what that is. It's not that you are lacking sales. It's that perhaps you're not trusting your voice, your offers, your value. You don't trust yourself to hold more money. So it's not a matter that you need a better sales strategy. What is actually is she before strategy, trusting your voice, trusting your offers, trusting your value, your inherent intrinsic worth, trusting yourself. And so this is why so many women stay stuck in trying to fix the external thing, when like external thing meaning strategy, the funnel, the sales page, the copy, the branding, the colors, the font, the connections, when the deeper invitation here is internal. Not because strategy doesn't matter, because strategy can only carry you as far as your self-concept lets it. So for the female founder listening, your next level may not require becoming someone else. It may require becoming more honest about where you are still abandoning yourself. And business brings up all kinds of things. It brings up identity, worth, visibility, and being seen. Number two, women are often carrying far more than their business, and that must be acknowledged. So many businesses and business advice is built around a very narrow reality, especially more in the patriarchal, masculine realm of things. And it assumes the following: unlimited energy, clean emotional bandwidth, support, time, and uncomplicated lives. Now, I don't know about you. I know for me, life has a lot of ebbs and flows. There could be really difficult moments, other things that are navigating on top of business, entrepreneurial stuff. And women are usually the ones who are raising families, taking care of the family, raising the children. They are typically the primary caregiver. They're the maternal, nurturing, uh, biological design in the home. They're doing the soccer games and remembering things and doing all that while running a business. And so many female founders are building their business, growing their business while mothering, healing, caregiving, navigating divorce, separation, grieving, rebuilding after trauma, starting over financially. Hello? Both of my hands are raised there. Uh, Regulating their nervous system, holding space for their home, their families, and relationships. So when a female founder says, "Why is this taking so long?" Sometimes the answer is not that she is lazy, inconsistent, or uncommitted, or she needs a better strategy. Typically, the answer is she is carrying a lot of life most people cannot even fathom, and that matters. And I think, female founders really need to stop measuring themselves against advice built for people, typically the more, masculine driven businesses with radically different realities. There's nothing weak about building slower. There's nothing shameful about building while healing. And there's nothing small about building with depth instead of speed. And I think as we kind of move into this new earth era, it's less about the hustle boss babe culture, which I'm so grateful for. Glad the world is catching up with me here. And it's really about building with integrity and that inner knowing of like, okay, am I feeling off center? Come back home to myself. Do I even know myself in this moment? Sometimes the woman, building quietly with integrity while holding 10 unseen burdens is actually demonstrating more strength than the person loudly with none of that weight. So if you're in a season where your capacity looks different, please honor that reality, not as an excuse, as wisdom, because sustainable growth requires truth. This invisible load that so many women carry and how that affects business, pace, scaling, consistency, and capacity. These invisible loads are not invisible at all. And that's why it's really critical to work with a coach, mentor, guide, specifically rooted in the different, energetics of business and uh, energetics of business, as well as energetics of your human, of what you're navigating. When you're seen, witnessed, and held with everything that's going on, you will have more capacity to build what it is. And you're not carrying the burden all on your own. Number three, visibility is not simply a marketing issue. For many women, it is a safety issue. This one is huge. So many women don't struggle with visibility because they do not know what to post. They struggle with visibility because being seen has not always felt safe. Now, if you go back to listen to some of my other episodes on this show, you will know that the nervous system cares about one thing and one thing only. Is it money? No. Is it how many likes you have on your latest Instagram post? No. Is it how many years you've been in a relationship? No. How much money is in your bank account? No. Cares about safety. And so many women struggle because they struggle with not being safe in their own body. A lot of women do not struggle with visibility because they do not know what to post. They struggle with visibility because being seen has not always felt safe. Being seen, often from childhood, could have meant any of these following things: being judged, criticized, attacked, sexualized, objectified, dismissed, shamed, betrayed, punished, punished for shining, for speaking up, for being quote unquote too loud. So when a female founder says, I know I need to show up more, but something in me resists, I think we need to have a more compassionate, intelligent conversation around that. That resistance is not always procrastination. Sometimes, usually, it is protection. It's the nervous system. So your body may still be trying to protect you from an old experience that you haven't metabolized yet, where visibility came with pain. That does not mean you're not meant to be seen. It means your system may need support learning that this version of being seen is different. This is where gentleness matters. This is where regulation matters. This is where working with a really guided coach or mentor is crucial. And this is where women in business must stop bullying yourself into visibility and start building safety around expression. So here are some ideas. Maybe that looks like posting more simply. Maybe it looks like speaking directly. Perhaps it looks like no longer performing. Maybe it looks like letting your message be clear without having to prove yourself, that you're enough, that you're worth it, that you have the wisdom, that you have the experience. Your voice becomes stronger when it is rooted in truth, not force. Your voice becomes stronger when it is rooted in truth, not force. There could be visibility wounds. There could be beliefs around being seen, criticism, and this is your invitation to create safety around showing up online, safety for your nervous system. Perhaps it is, posting certain times of the day. Perhaps it's checking at certain times of the day and really having really clear, specific boundaries around social media. Number 4, female founders must stop waiting to feel fully ready before leading. At some point, there is a threshold every woman in business must cross. And this threshold is, I think I can do this, to I lead here. That does not require arrogance. It does not require pretending, and it does not require perfection. It simply requires decision. I'm going to make a choice. I lead here. So many women are deeply qualified, deeply gifted, deeply insightful, and deeply capable. Yet they're still standing at the edge, waiting for one more sign, one more credential, one more certification, one more course, one more proof point. And meanwhile, less qualified people are moving with certainty. And I'll interject a quick little story here. Someone showed up in my feed recently. It's a guy, and he has a multi-million-dollar company. I think it's a nutrition company. I think their company may be valued in the billions at this point. And he just turned 31, and he's, making this whole series on, all the lessons he learned when he was in his 20s. I had to laugh. I'm not sure if a woman would post that. And I was like, what would it be like to be a guy so cocky and full of yourself that you have life figured out at age 31? Side note there. I thought that was really interesting. I doubt a woman would post something of that nature. So, it's really interesting to see, two different, genders, male and female of, yeah, I'm going to post that. And he has no qualms whatsoever. So, it is kind of a cautionary tale to have some humbleness in your journey that you don't know everything. And there's always room for integrity and room to learn. Never stop learning. So it kind of goes back to my point. Like, less qualified people are moving with certainty. They're moving with cockiness. And the issue is not that women need to become more like that. The invitation is to stop outsourcing authority, stop waiting to get it right, and do it. As what, Nike said. You do not need to know everything to lead. You need to know what you know. You need to honor your lived experience. You need to stand in the value you already bring. You need to stop speaking like you're asking for permission to exist in the room. A woman founder with conviction is so powerful. A woman founder who no longer minimizes herself is powerful. A woman founder who stops diluting her message in order to be easier to digest is magnificent. Leadership often begins before confidence catches up. Confidence is frequently built through evidence. Evidence is built through action, and action is built through decision. So let's decide. Decide that your work matters. Decide that your perspective matters. Decide that your voice has weight and value. Decide that you are no longer available for chronic self-minimization. And lastly, number 5, success for women in business must include how it feels to live it. This may be one of the most important pieces. Not every business is worth building. Not every revenue stream is worth the cost to your body. Not every strategy is worth the cost to your peace. Not every growth pain is worth becoming disconnected from yourself. Female founders especially need permission to define success more holistically. Yes, money matters. Yes, profitability matters. Yes, growth is important. And does your business let you breathe? Does your business allow you to breathe? Is it creative? Is it giving you joy? Does it align with your values? Does it honor the season of your life? Does it support your body, your health? Does it let you remain connected to your integrity? Does it allow room for your humanity? Because there's no point in building a successful, quote unquote, business that drains the life out of you. So many people, build a business they grow to hate. The goal is not merely to achieve here. The goal is to create something powerful, yes, profitable, sustainable, true, and it leaves healing, hope, and health in the world. Something that reflects who you are, something that lets you deepen into your life, not constantly to escape it, something that supports the women behind the brand, not only the image of her. And I think more women need to hear that they are allowed to build in a way that actually fits them. Not only what is trendy or what performs or what looks impressive from the outside, what is real, what is aligned, clean, sustainable, what is theirs. So if you are a female founder listening today, here's what I want to leave you with. You're not behind because your path looks different. You're not less powerful because your journey has been hard. You are not unqualified because you are still growing. You're not failing because business is stretching you. You're not asking for too much by wanting success and peace. You're not weak for needing support. You're not too much for taking up space. You are not too late. Your business is not only asking you to build something external, it is asking you to become the woman who can hold what she says she wants. And that process is sacred. Messy sometimes, tender sometimes, humbling, stretching, absolutely. And it's also sacred. So to the woman building quietly, to the woman rebuilding, to the woman leading while healing, to the woman creating movements, offers, communities, podcast, art, services, change. Keep going. Not from depletion, not from performance, not from proving, from truth, from embodiment, from conviction, from the deep inner knowing that what you carry has tremendous value. And the world does need more women who are willing to build from that place. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Please leave a 5-star review if you have not already. And I will see you next week for another amazing show. Have a great day.